So today is Tuesday, July the 21st, 2020, and it has been a minute since I've been on YouTube, since I posted a video. The last video, I believe, was me telling you about my mother who had passed away in February. I don't think I've made a video since then. So much has happened since February, or since my mom passed away, since we buried my mom. The week after my mother's funeral, my husband had a massive heart attack. And the thing about it was that he did not even realize that he had a heart attack. So we didn't go to the hospital on the day that we think it happened, which was Wednesday. We didn't go to the doctor until Friday. He thought he had a stomach bug. He didn't have the classic signs of a heart attack. And when we got to the hospital, the doctor did an EKG, and he told us that my husband had had a heart attack sometime. He said recently he's had a heart attack. He told us to immediately go to the emergency room, and so we did. And from there, he had a stent. He had a fully blocked artery, and they were able to successfully stent it, and two other ones they could not. So the doctor said that he was going to have a bypass surgery, heart bypass surgery, and that he was going to have to be transferred to a hospital where they had a cardiac thoracic surgeon, because our local hospital, the cardiac thoracic surgeon that was on staff left, and they haven't found one yet. So he was transferred to out of town to a hospital in Birmingham, and he stayed there for about a week. The doctor said he was in the doctor said that his heart was too weak, and that he suffered severe damage, and that he did not want to do the bypass surgery with his heart being in that condition. So he was going to send us home for him to heal a little bit, and that he would have the surgery on March the 30th. And this was like, we went to Birmingham on February the 28th. So we got out of the hospital, I believe, like on March the 5th or something like that. And so he scheduled the surgery for March the 30th. Well, I had to stop the camera because it got a little noisy. So, anyway, he scheduled his surgery for March the 30th. And needless to say, because of COVID-19, he didn't have the surgery on March the 30th. Because since my husband was stable, his surgery was now considered elective. Can you imagine that? Heart bypass surgery being elective, even though he needed it to save his life. Yes, his condition was stable, but I don't know how heart bypass surgery is considered elective. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it. So anyway, they gave him another date. I think they gave him a date in April. And then they changed that because the restrictions were still in place about elective surgeries. So finally, on May the 5th, my husband had heart bypass surgery. And while in the hospital, I stayed with him in the hospital except for the first night. The first night, nobody could stay because he was in recovery. So I stayed with him in ICU, and then he was transferred to a step-down unit. Well, he had a complication in ICU and had to be put on a ventilator. So that was so scary, y'all. That was so scary. I was by myself, and I really thought that we were going to lose my husband, that I was going to lose him. But praise God, I called my pastor's wife. She prayed with me. I called my sister, had the family, she notified the rest of the family, and they all, started praying. And 2 days after being put on the ventilator, he came off, and then a couple days after that, he was able to go to the step-down unit. And then before he was supposed to have been released on a Friday, and then he started running a temperature, and his white blood count was up, so he had some type of infection, so he still couldn't get released. And so finally that following Monday he got released to come home. And it's been a uphill journey for him. He's still recovering because his heart was damaged so much from the heart attack that he's having a slow recovery, but he is progressing every day, and we thank God for that, because the alternative could be that he wouldn't even be here, and I'm just so thankful that he is still here. Well, anyway, this is a weight loss journey video, but I had to give you all that information to let you know that it has been rocky. So when he first got home, I just did not feel like keeping up with points, counting calories or anything, tracking any food. I just, he's on a low sodium, low cholesterol diet, and I'm trying to follow that as well. So I did not track off and on. I tried to make healthy choices, and y'all know, if y'all know my history, I'm an emotional eater, so I tried to combat that. So anyway, I'm still a member of Weight Watchers. I tried counting calories at one point, and then I decided a few weeks ago that I was going to commit back to following Weight Watchers completely and start tracking. I hadn't even been to a virtual meeting in so long, because even though they've started some meetings back up, our meetings are not back up because I live in a small town, and so the only way you can have a Weight Watcher meeting is through a Zoom meeting. So Saturday I went to my first Zoom meeting in months. And I tracked that whole week last week. I want to say I started back posting on Weight Watchers last week, tracked last week, and today was my weigh-in day, and I lost 3.4 pounds. So now I'm at 14.8 pounds lost. So I'm happy about that. To go through this social isolation, my mom's death, and then my husband's heart attack, and then all the things associated with his recovery, and then on top of that the COVID-19, and then trying to lose weight and dealing with the emotional stress, the stress of everything. And I'm an emotional eater. I am so thankful and so blessed to have lost 14.8. So I said all that to say that I'm going to try to start back regularly posting to my YouTube channel, because I really don't have any social outlet. I mean, I don't go anywhere except I go to do grocery pickups, and I go to the pharmacy drive-through, and I take my husband to his doctor's appointment, and I go to doctor's appointments. So because we are very much still social distancing ourselves, because he is still in a critical stage of his recovery. And I don't know when we will be back to socializing with, our church family, or with any family for that matter. So I'm going to be using this YouTube channel not only for accountability, but because I need some social interaction, to where I feel like, I have something to do when I wake up besides stay in the house. I have started to crochet. I sew, I use my Cricut cutting machine. So I think I'm going to just I'm gonna play it by ear, because I'm not gonna say how many days a week I'm going to post. Some days I may post what I eat in a day. Some days I may post some recipes. Some days I may just show you some crafts I'm working on. And some days I just may come on here just to talk. But anyway, I'm gonna try to be more regular on YouTube. Hope everyone has fared this period in our lives as well as you can, with social isolation, social distance, quarantine, or whatever you want to call it. I hope you are doing well. You and your family are doing well. I am going to go. I pray that whenever you watch this video, that something I said can be of encouragement to you, and be blessed.